Your PCM is located underneath your fuse box here. Your fuse box will need to get unscrewed before you can obviously reach underneath. Let me see if I can't maybe get an angle at the PCM. So there's your fuse box. Your PCM is right there, if you can see it. And it's got those three plug-ins that will need to be removed. So for the fuse box here, you got one here, one here. Let's see, I think you got one here. You've got another one right down there. And I want to say one more right there. So you've got a total of 5 to unscrew. I know for sure this one are 10 millimeters. That one down there looks like a 10 millimeter as well. This one I believe is going to be maybe a 13. So we're going to start by disconnecting the battery, since we're going to be dealing with the fuse box and the PCM. So safety first, we're going to go ahead and remove the negative cable from the battery, and then we will come back to undo those 5 bolts there. And your battery is located in your trunk. Usually you're supposed to unscrew this thing. Mine for some reason didn't come with it, so we're just going to remove that. And now you have access to your battery right there. Battery terminal here, you've got 2 nuts right there. They're both 10 millimeters, so we're going to go ahead and remove those here. Maybe you only have to do one. So we're going to try to get that out of there. So I removed it. I'm a little overprotective, so I just wrapped it in paper and put some tape around there just so that it doesn't hit that on accident. And then we're just going to set it over here. We'll set that aside right there. Alright, now we'll go back to the PCM. Alright, here we go. Let's loosen these 10 millimeters up. I'm just going to crack them loose and then do it the rest by hand. So we got those. Now we're going to switch to that one right there. Okay, that one was a 13 millimeter, by the way. Okay, last one we got is right over here. Well, underneath that. That one just needs one light crack. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Perfect. I'll pull all the nuts off and I'll be back. So I actually ended up removing the battery cap here for this positive end, and found that obviously it had some free room there, so I didn't have to try to sneak in there. So there's that. I also ended up taking off the 3rd bolt that was here, so there should be 3 along the edges here. And I'll continue and get back to you guys. Alright, great. So we have 6 that we took off altogether. We got 4 10 millimeters, 2 13s. The 2 13s came from these 2 right there. And then the 4 10s came from 3 along the end. So 1, 2, 3. And then the 4th one that was right down there. Now we have room to kind of move this out of the way, and then the fuse box can get pulled out. That'll give you a little bit of access to your PCM. Get some extra light in here, so sorry I don't have the best lighting, but PCM should be right underneath that. There it is, and it's hooked up to those 3 wires that we were talking about earlier. I'm going to figure out how to remove them or unclip them, and then I'll get right back. Alright, so I was able to remove one of the connectors. It's not as bad as I thought. So basically what you do is you pull that red tab, you pull it up, and then on the side there's a clip. See if I can zoom in. That tab right there, you want to get in there with like a flat head and gently pry it off, and that will release that black cover where that red tab is. It'll kind of loosen it up, and then you just pull up on the tab on that black cover and it'll come off eventually. So Here's the one that I pulled off from the first one. And the tabs was right there. That's where you want to, that's hooked up to the bottom of it, and that's what you want to pry up. So as you can see, I pried it off, and now this thing flips up like that. You want to go all the way out like that, and then that black cover will just come off. Okay guys, so this is a closer look as to what we're looking at down there, and that part is what's connected to the blue connector there. Basically, like I said, I pulled this all the way forward here. It was all the way back over here. So you start by pulling this out, and then what you want to pry is this here. So you want to take a flathead and pull this little tab right here. You want to pull that straight up like that, and that'll give you that'll release this so you can bring it all the way forward. And as you pull this forward, the thing it's connected to will kind of just push up, and all you got to do at that point is just take it off. This one on the first one came off. This one did not. I'm guessing because I didn't pry it all the way off there. I just did enough just to pull it off. So we're gonna see if we can do that to the third one. All right, so I got all three loose. There's a blue one, a black one, and a gray one. I did start numbering them with tape until I realized they're all color coded. So the third one, I think I got a little too overconfident because I broke one of those clips. It's still there, but it is broken. I'm gonna try to maybe plastic weld it, or it's just the top, so maybe I can find a new one from a dealership or something, but just be really careful with those clips because they do break easily. Alright, now we're gonna remove the stock PCM. Alright, she's out finally. There's the three connectors. I had to pull it out. I dropped it and I pulled it out behind that and all the way out here, and then I pulled it right up from there. There was no way for me to get it out of this. It was way too tight of a spot. Basically, the PCM, after you take the plugs out, it's only held by two little plugs. Actually, there's one there if you could see it. That black tab there. And then there's one directly below that one. You can't miss them. And so basically you just push those two tabs in and you lift the PCM from that same side, and then just kind of pull it out and find a way out of there. Now to install the tuned PCM from ZZP. Alright guys, so we got the new PCM installed. There it is. I couldn't video record this one because, you know, again, I'm working with my phone here for video and it's just me, so I kind of needed both hands to get it in there. But if you guys remember, as far as the disconnecting of everything, basically you just do the same thing, you just go backwards. I mean, when we pulled out the PCM from here I was telling you guys about, you want to put it back in this way, kind of sneak it all the way through here, twist it here until you can place it back onto its tray. And what you want to do is start with the closer side here, because it's got two little clips that it goes underneath, and then you push down on that far side over there, and then it locks those two clips that we pushed down to release at the beginning. So to remove, again, you push the two clips on that side and it releases it, and then you pull that way. And then to install, you do the opposite. You start from this side and then push down on that end to lock it in place. Super easy. Once again, it takes about maybe 10 minutes to do tops, and that was my first time with all this, so it's a really easy install. ZZP did not send instructions on how to do the PCM, so you know, I kind of had to figure everything out myself. After I had it all installed, I did contact ZZP and ask them, and they did send the E85 instruction booklet to me, which kind of shows you a little bit about how to remove, but doesn't really show you how to install. So you can kind of ask them for that if you need further help, or if my video wasn't helpful enough, but hopefully it was. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the tune. I will do a full review once we get all three parts finished up. So hopefully you guys found that PCM easy to install, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy this tune.